Hello guys, welcome to this episode where I'm going to be showing you how to make vegetable soup using spinach and kale from the scratch. So first off, you want to wash your vegetables thoroughly to get rid of the sand in the vegetables. You want to wash them in salt water to make sure they are very clean. Next off, you are going to be slicing the vegetables. So because this spinach is the big leaf size, I'm going to be slicing it. But if you're making use of baby spinach, there's no need for you to slice it. So for this recipe, I'm going to be blanching the vegetables. I'm going to be blanching it in hot water and transferring to cold water immediately after, depending on how long you want it to cook. So the purpose of the blanching is to get rid of the excess liquid in the vegetables. This spinach usually releases a lot of water, and trust me, I've tried the method of slicing and cooking directly. I do not like it because it releases too much liquid in the soup. So hence I'm going with the method of blanching to make sure my vegetable is as dry as possible. So I'm washing it thoroughly over and over again to make sure it is extremely clean and to get rid of all the sand, like I said earlier. So spinach has a lot of benefits. It has a whole lot of benefits. If you're in diaspora, you can make use of spinach and kale for your vegetables because it is very healthy. So we're going to be slicing the vegetables. I start with my spinach. You want to make sure that you already you're boiling your meat already and it's becoming tender before you start slicing your vegetables. Make sure to start the vegetable cooking process with boiling your meat. That's where it saves time. So by the time the meat is boiling, you can go with other things. You can prep other ingredients like slicing the vegetables, which is advisable to do when you're already almost going in with your vegetables. So that way it retains all the nutrients and it doesn't lose any nutrients. Like I said earlier, if you are making use of baby spinach, you do not need to slice it because it is very small and becomes too tiny if you want to slice it. But it all depends on what you want. If you really want to slice it, some people don't like big chunks of vegetables. You can go ahead and slice your vegetables. So for this recipe, I'm going to blanch only the spinach. I am not blanching the kale because kale is tougher than spinach. I want it to give that. I want to feel that chunky, that crunchy taste. I don't want all the vegetables to be absolutely soft, hence I'm not blanching the kale. So you want to boil very hot water. You have to cover your pot for it to boil properly. Then add a lot of salt to the boiling hot water. That is how you blanch your vegetables. Also set aside an ice bath. Just run cold water in a bowl or in a sink like I'm doing, and add a lot of ice cubes to it, so that when you put the vegetables in the hot boiling water like I'm doing right now, you can take it off in 1 minute or less than 1 minute, depending on how soft you want your vegetables to be, and you transfer the blanched vegetables to the cold ice bath rather, and that slows down the process of the cooking while giving it a very vibrant green color. So you go in with all the vegetables to blanch it in the hot water. Leave it for as long as you want. I removed it in less than 1 minute because I don't want my vegetables to be too soft, but you can, ideally that's how you should do it. But if you like your vegetables extremely soft, then you can leave it a little longer before transferring it to the cold ice bath. Then you start to sieve your vegetables away from the hot water into the ice bath to slow down the cooking process, to retain the color. Hence, if you do not do that, it turns black. Now you want to blend your pepper. If you have a grater, by all means do use it, but I do not have a grater, hence I'm using my blender. For those of you that want to use your blender, you can use the pulse function of your blender. Remember to not add any water to this pepper mix, because you don't want a lot of water in your soup. So here I'm pulsing this blender to give me a very rough consistency, very coarse consistency. Then I go in with Palmoil and Locust beans and Crayfish, and then I pour in my pepper mix. As you can see, there is little or no water in the pepper mix. Then I go with my cow leg, which I had already pre-boiled. Like I said earlier, that's the first thing you should do. Then I go with my kale. Remember that this is just washed and sliced kale. I did not blanch this kale so as to retain the nutrients and also to give it that extra toughness. Remember I said that kale is tough than spinach. Then I give it a good mix. You have to fry your pepper completely until the oil comes on top of the surface before you start to add your kale vegetable. Guys, you can call this recipe edikaikon, diaspora edikaikon. As you can see here, the spinach has gone in to mix the kale, and I give it a thorough mix to combine together. That's it, guys. Your soup is ready.